But again, being profitable is not, it's a matter of you as an individual. You, the individual who is coming into trading, how long does it take you as an individual to become profitable? That is on you now. That is you to ask yourself, how can I be consistent following the rules? Okay. Same way, how long did it take you to stop sinning or to stop doing that thing that you know it's a sin that you have been struggling with? Maybe you have not even worked on it. You can see how the struggle in it. So how will you be disciplined enough to follow a system that I'm going to teach you every single day? You understand? So that is how I'm talking. The things I'm saying you should be focused on. Trump anaongea kuongea tisho shida ni greed na procrastination. No, the problem, most of you guys, I don't want to say most of you guys have a problem with anything, but the first problem that most of you guys have is lack of information. Bro, trust me, some students come to me, they're like, I know everything, I'm not making money. But after 2 weeks, I start teaching them the things I teach them. They're like, I never believed this. I knew how to do this in this way, but not in this way. So that's why this one was not working. Or I never even knew such things existed. Understand? So the first thing is lack of information, because only after you get the right information, that is when you can work on your psychology. Now changing the things that are needed to be changed. You understand? But you can't be working on things you really don't know what you're working on. There's no way you'll start applying proper risk management on a strategy that is not even proven. You start applying 1% risk per trade on an edge that you don't know even how many roses in a row it can take. You understand? So that is the biggest issue. So you have to work on yourself. You have to invest. Okay, remember, I started trading back in 2021. It has taken me too much time. It took me a lot of time to become or to reach to where I am. Okay, not 2021, 2020 actually. 2021, 2022, I was losing money. A bit of 2023, I was still losing money. Working from business to losing, from working to losing, from all that to gaining. But trust me, I invested a lot of money on information, on challenges. I've lost more than, I think, in general, 25 accounts, challenge accounts. And in one pro firm, which is funding traders, I've lost more than, that was actually 2022. I've lost a lot of accounts. Okay, but most of them that I was losing was 10K, 5K. But still now I started going hard, buying bigger accounts, thinking that the problem was the small accounts, but the problem was information. Okay, so I'm on live on YouTube. Go and click, my link is in bio. We are gonna start analysis right away. Make sure to follow, and also I'm gonna be posting all these things very soon. I just have, I think, 3 videos. I'm gonna be posting all these videos. If you can't afford to pay for mentorship, then I understand some of you maybe don't have the jobs. Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can do it by doing what? By watching the videos, and you get a bit of information that you really need. So let's do a quick analysis on HAUSD, and we see exactly what is happening with gold. Let me see. So don't give up, regardless of how hard trading is going to be. Please don't give up. Don't give up. If some of us we made it, the only thing you need to do is make sure you don't fall into the trap of a teacher. Okay, so by the way, I only trade gold. I only trade HAUSD. So if you join, please write a comment there you've joined on YouTube. I can see several people. Okay. So basically, if you check HAUSD, there's a very good analysis I want to show. The one we were doing last night, because I want you guys to understand exactly what is happening with HAUSD. And This is from the price action we had when the price was going up to when the price is going down. Okay, we had this analysis. Yeah, Juma, that is normal. Now that on YouTube it's a bit behind, but if you leave TikTok alone, of course you're gonna catch up. Now that goes with the speed of your Wi-Fi, but also since I'm using a software, it's also a bit behind. Okay, but you will catch up if you just focus. You'll understand. There is no problem. So if you check on, I want us to check on what is really happening on HAUSD, because let's like and share the live, guys. Because if you're careful, you'll understand that it's like on the higher time frame, it's like this low that we swept here. Okay, I'm on daily time frame, and it's, by the way, can you guys hear me clearly? But the fact that you have said Saudi Konyoma, you can hear me. So we took out this low. Remember, this low, I said it was like a sweep of liquidity, right? It was like a sweep of liquidity. But at the same time, if you go to 4-hour time frame, it's a very good break of structure, right? But remember, we categorize our time frames. We categorize our time frames from where? From on YouTube. Let's like and share the live. We categorize our time frame differently, right? We don't do it normally like the normal things, and we don't like going above for daily time frame to look for price action. Okay, there's no need of going to above daily time frame to look for price action. There's no need. Purely, there's no need of doing that. Okay, so just a minute. So based on that, on 4-hour time frame, ati unaongea reality hadi nikatoka trade nime over leverage kwa gold. Yeah, you shouldn't. Why are you risking? Guys, I always tell you one thing. The only reason you're going to over leverage, is because you know what is going to happen next. If you knew a trade is going to lose, would you over leverage? You wouldn't. You wouldn't risk much. You wouldn't risk more. The only reason you over leverage is because you knew you were going to win. The only reason you reduce your stop loss is because you know you're going to lose. There's no way you'll do things. And the biggest mistake that comes into trading is thinking you know what will happen next. The moment you think you know what will happen next, that is where everything goes crazy. So if you check on daily time frame, I want to believe that we would have intended to respect this law. Okay, but the market did not respect. But also, if you check carefully, we did not break above. Okay, we did not break above, which gives us a sign what? Which gives us a sign that it's like, which gives us a sign that it's like, what's going on? Which gives us a sign that it's like we were respecting a certain level at this particular point, right? And the market is pushed all the way, give us this low, and after giving us this low, we can see the market failed or did a retracement, right? Market did a retracement. Now remember, if this is gonna be our strong, there's my circle, right? If this is gonna be a strong low, right? Then by default, this is gonna be a what? Our strong high, right? As long as this is a break of structure, it's gonna be a strong high, which means now that this is a low that was created. Okay, remember, until a break of structure happens, you have no business calling it a lower low, right? It has no business being a lower low. Fantastic. So you can see that the market did a retracement to a certain level where we had a daily fair value gap. And what is gold doing? It's trying to push to the downside. You guys don't want to join YouTube channel, huh? You can join there. You can watch analysis from there. After that, it doesn't take long. Just 20-30 minutes will be done. We come back here. We check a few things on analysis, on trading psychology, okay? I'm going to be trying to combine both to try and fix the issue you have, okay? And you try to understand where the problem could be. So after respecting this fair value gap, it was actually a cluster fair value gap, you know very well. Either I'm interested on daily fair value gaps or cluster fair value gaps when it comes from daily, which is 4 hours and below. Okay, 4 hours and below, you'll never hear me talking of any fair value gap or anything else. Okay, so after that, the market retraced to this level, and then we can see the market is doing what? Is doing a push to the downside, which is the intention of this push. We expect the intention of this push, not because we know what is going to happen, but because we understand the basic of market structure should be to break this law, right? Are we together? Huku mtu anashare aje jamani. Don't worry, we will catch up. I'm watching on YouTube using my laptop. Yeah, I know most of you guys mwenye mko hapa, you are doing that. So we had this high, and the intention is to push to this low to break this low, right? But now I want us to put our attention, kama that is the higher time frame price action, I want us to put our attention to one thing. What is happening between this retracement and when the market is going down? What is really happening? Because again, this is the higher time frame, and we can't put our attention to the higher time frame, right? Hakuna vile tuta put our attention to the higher time frame. YouTube, please, let's like the live. Especially if you're using a laptop, it's very easy to tap with your mouse. So we want to focus on just this low and this high. This is where our attention would be. Why? Because we are intraday traders. We are trying to put our attention on what is actually happening on these markets, right? So, and I said, now if you check carefully, ask yourself, what is it we mitigated at this point that did make a retracement? Remember, there is one thing I always say. Anytime you see a break of structure, what do you ask yourself about? There's always one question you need to ask yourself. What will make me reverse or retrace back inside the zone before pushing further to the upside? Okay? What will make me, remember, this is a strong low that is protecting that uptrend, right? What will make me reverse? Now, this is what I'm calling the retracement level, okay? The level that will make the market do a retracement, right? And we can see from this level, we made a retracement to that point, right? Now, if you check carefully, that is the same question. We can see here we had a break of structure, right? On the 4 hour time frame, okay? I'm on daily time frame because 4 hours in a corner candlesticks mingi. And congesting the candlesticks, you guys, most of my students know I don't like that. So what are we looking at? The reason what we mitigated here. So if you check on the weekly time frame, we had mitigated what? We had a break of structure when the market was going up, right? We had a very, very good break of structure at this level here. And as we had a break of structure there, we had a very strong point of interest at this particular level here, which is extreme point of interest. Remember, I've been teaching these things and I told you, if you want trading to be easy on you, you need to focus on certain levels that you will put your attention on each and every single day. Don't change that, okay? Kila siku, that is what you're going to be putting your attention on without changing anything. Now, as the market did a retracement to this level, we can see it started pushing back to the upside, right? So that was our retracement point. Na hiyo ilifanya kazi yake. And now, what is pushing the market forward to come to break structure? It's this supply fair value gap here. Now, from there, I don't want us to pay attention on the higher time frame anymore. We can go to a higher time frame of the lower time frame from daily time frame going downwards, and we try to understand what is the market doing from that particular point, right? So if you check from that point, we go to 4 hour time frame. Now you can see that after we mitigated this strong key level, remember this was weekly what? This was weekly level that where a break of structure happened on the weekly time frame. So you can see what happened. Okay, now I can delete these lines so that they don't confuse us. We just know two things, right? Here we have reacted from a daily fair value gap, right? And here we are reacting at an extreme point of interest, right? Now I'm on higher time frame from 4 hours. Are we together? So from this point, you can clearly see that the market mitigate at this point. With our established high, we broke it, change in character. Now that is our main change of character. This is on 4-hour time frame. Pia, remember, 4-hour time frame to 3-hour time frame, 2-hour time frame. That is our higher time frame. So we don't put our attention there, okay? So we broke structure here. Anyone who has joined, you can link in bio, you can join YouTube live. So we broke this structure here. Also, you are able to break structure at this point here, right? And also you are able to break this structure here. Notice, you guys tumekuwa na nyinyi juzi. Just another day, I've been with you. When we saw this failing, this level here, failing to give us a break of structure. Nashuku situmii nini? Nashuku situmii the right. Because here, if you check this point, we have what? Guys, let me confirm whether I'm using forex.com. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. I wouldn't like to... Oh, it's okay. I'm using it. Okay? If you check here, on the higher time frame, you know I like my time frames to confirm. 4 hours to break, but 3 hours we never broke, okay? Not 3 hours, but which time frame did not break here? Oh, yeah, this we broke. Sorry, it's the favorite gap that is been a bit hectic. So we yeah, it's 3 break of structures, right? Let me go back to 4 hour time frame. I'm using my mind instead of what I'm seeing with my eyes. So we had this break of structure, confirming our change of character, a break of structure confirming the continuation of the trend, a new break of structure still confirming a continuation of the trend, and here we had a break of structure. And here is where we failed to break structure. And remember, I came here on YouTube, on TikTok, that time we were streaming on TikTok, and I told you guys, this was not a valid break of structure. I told you that. How many people were there, by the way? Can you comment if you're there? Because this was not a break of structure, whereby I decided to tell you guys that we can take this high now. Okay, we can take this high and wait for the price to break both of them, right? But you can see 4 hours tried to trap us to show us it has broken, but 3 hours never broke. And remember, as we consider our time frames, we need to see all time frames aligning. Okay, we don't want to see a break of structure on one time frame and another one is showing other things we are not even understanding. Are we together? So from this point, you can see that this is clearly or what? Just a liquidity sweep. So to me, I have no business considering it as a break of structure. And I told you that. Now, now from that point, if this is gonna just be a sweep of liquidity and not a break of structure, then which is my main law? Which is my main law, guys? Between this one, inayo lazima mjibu. I don't know, the thing ya kuchora sijui. I'm using my computer, so I'm even using my... It's very huge, so nazungusha shingo. Unajua nimezoea ka laptop, you just move your eyes. But I always say one thing, everything is about getting used to it, okay? So we had I have a brush here, I can use it. So between this low here, okay, let me give it size number 3 and I give it black. Between that low here and this low here, where I can call this A and this one B, guys, which one is our varied low? Na mujibu maswali. Account management, hola. I don't do account management, bro. I don't want your money. Which one? Is it A or is it B? Is it A or is it B? So to me, I would like to consider A as my main law. Why? Because A is the one that gave us a valid break of structure. Okay? Is the one that gave us a valid break of structure at this point here. Right? So this is my main law. So until this law being taken out, I'm going to consider myself still inside the uptrend market. You remember, how many people were with me on TikTok as I said that? Were you here these days? All these things have been guiding you every single day, right? And you can see clearly what was happening. The market gave us a sweep. I would like to give it dotted line instead of giving us a break of structure. After that sweep, we mitigated a strong key point. Let me reduce it, which is a fair value gap on the higher time frame. Remember, hii ni ile fair value gap yenye mitigate, and then the market started dropping, right? Yes. Also on YouTube you can respond, okay? I mean on TikTok also. This is the area where we mitigated, okay? And the market started pushing to the downside. And remember, anytime, sometimes a break of structure is inconvenient by the retracement level. What do I mean? This is another hint you need to understand. That you could be having a break of structure here, but just before the break of structure, you have a retracement level. Just before the break of structure, you have a retracement point. Sometimes it does destroy the what? Unapata sasa market imekataa kukupea a break of structure. Instead, inakupea a sweep of liquidity na ina fail ku break structure. Why? Because it has mitigated the strong key level. That's why you need to be very careful. You need to identify between a valid break of structure. Wenye mmejoin mnaweza join na YouTube channel, we do analysis, it's free, eh? Link in bio if you want to do analysis with me. So what do we have here? We have a high, but when we break a structure, we immediately mitigated a strong reversal point. That is the same thing that happened here. Immediately we broke structure, okay? You can see the first failed, but immediately we are aggressive trying to break structure. We mitigated the daily fair value gap and the cluster fair value gap, which pushed the market hardly, very hard to the downside. This is the same concept we have up here, okay? So now, since you have gotten that concept, we can continue or we can proceed with our analysis. We can proceed with our analysis. Okay, any question that ukiona sijaona YouTube, you can touch it on TikTok, eh? So from this point, there's something funny that happened, okay? Remember, between this low and this high, the created high, because now this is our main created high, because I just break structure. We're expecting it to break this one, not this one. We're expecting it to break this one. We want to know what was happening here. And if you check carefully, the market was trying to retrace. The market was exhausted. It was trying to do a retracement to the downside, right? And as the market was doing a retracement to the downside, there's one thing that happened. It was giving now an internal price action. An internal price action, right? But now remember, this was our strong low and it has been broken. It has been broken. If I check on the higher time frame, you can clearly see that our strong low has been broken. Meaning now we are not in an uptrend anymore, but we are in a downtrend. You can see here that our strong low has been broken, right? Is that true? Is that true? So now you need to ask yourself, there was a lot of drama that was happening here. What is this drama? You can't ignore it. This is internal price action. And this is why I'm saying all you need to do is pay attention to a point of interest. Point of interest by a point of interest. So if you drop a bit to the lower time frame, you realize that we had a very good price action when the market was coming to take out our major low, or our strong low, not major, strong low, okay? Because you can see here, we failed to break structure, but did what? Take out the internal low that was created, giving us an internal change of character, right? I'll give it red in color so that we can differentiate that. And size number 4. After that, we saw ourselves. Okay, after that, we saw ourselves doing what? Taking out that low, right? After that, we saw again price still taking out again that low. Okay, after that, we saw again price taking out that low. So what do you see? An internal price action that was going to the downside, okay? I can clearly see something, an internal price action that was going to the downside. But the purpose of this price action was just very simple, to give us our main change of character. Okay, to give us our main change of character, sindio? Na ikatupea change of character. So this was just an internal what? Internal price action yenye ilikuwa inaenda chini kutupea price break of structure. Why? Because the move from here to here is very huge. The market does not just have to come directly like, boom, let's break structure. No. The market has to give you an organized manner, an organized way of doing what? Of coming to break that structure, which is the price action shifted internally, coming to break structure. And also, this was a trap to anyone who was thinking that this is a strong demand, this is a strong demand, this is a strong demand. All these people were being violated by this internal price action. Okay. Now, what do we have here? A price action that was going to the downside to break structure. Now, still on the higher time frame. Now, what do you have still on the higher time frame? A main change of character, right? After this main change of character, we created a new law. How did we create this new law? You can see we failed to break structure here. This is a failed break of structure. And trust me, anytime you see the market failing to break structure, please take that seriously. Do not start to ignore. Don't let your ignorance, arrogance, whatever it is, try to push you to think that now this is a main change of character. And that's why for my students, I use something very, very simple. Something very, very simple. And that is to confirm a break of structure with multiple time frames. That way, they will not catch with you. They will not catch you. Ni ngumu, hawata kupata. But they will try always to trap people who try to use one time frame to confirm everything. Are we together? So from this case here, you can see that we failed to break structure, meaning what? That's a failed break of structure, sindio? Meaning the break of structure ilikuja kuhappen huku mbele. Sindio? Hello? Are we together? And still if you check, the break of structure hapa ilikataa ku break. Because we had a sweep, created this low. Right? So it was a failed break of structure. And it was failing for a reason, because it wanted to trap traders. Right? So we had that low and this low here. Okay? This week created a new low. It has to be broken. Market sasa lazima break. Hii ikakuja tena ikatupea another week. Trust me, the market was doing this for a reason. Until now, we saw a good, valid break of structure. So from there, one thing I would like to tell you is that if I go to the daily time frame, I'd like to consider myself that from this point, let me go back to 4 hours. From this point here, okay? From this point here to this low, our break of structure is where? Our main break of structure is where? Is at this level here. Individually break structure without any hesitation. Are we together? So all this to me is just drama that the market was trying to trap me. But remember, you don't need to understand all these general analysis for you to make money. Hauhitaji hizi drama zote to make money. No. I'm going to show you what you need. So here we failed to break structure. We failed until here we are able to break structure. Now, if the break of structure happened here, this is not your main major high. Trust me, this is not your main major high. Okay? This is just a decisional that came to break structure internally. The main major high is this one. Right? And until now, the market takes out that high. That is when you can do what? That is when you can confirm to yourself. That is when you can confirm to yourself that now we are able to do what? To break that structure, to break that high, to give us a change of character. So initially, what do you have? You have a high, okay, that gave us a main change of character and gave us a retracement which gave us a break of structure. Hapa ikashindwa, hapa pia ikashindwa, ikatupea break of structure at this level here, right? No, I wasn't supposed to break it there. Then somehow I always love taking it. So we had a high and a break of structure. A retracement, failed break of structure, then it broke structure here, right? Then a retracement, then a new break of structure. But notice one thing, okay? Notice one thing very, very clearly. The only reason this is not a change of character, this is not a sweep of previous high, okay? If the main break of structure ilikuja kuhapenia hapa, then that means this is not a break of structure, this is not a break of structure. So initially we have such a thing. Now if I delete everything, you can clearly see that we are going to be having a what? We are going to be having, because what is one reason, guys, by the way, Abujibu kwa comment, what is one reason you think the market was moving this way, to these areas? What is one reason you think the market was moving this way? It's because we had a high, okay? It's because we had a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low, right? Oh, man. Okay, that is what we have. So we have a change of character, a break of structure. Now our break of structure si tunaweza ichorea hapa. Sema hapa ndipo ilichora because hapa ndipo ilifika ikakuja kuchora ku break mpaka huku chini, si ndio? So we can say it is there followed by a break of structure. So you can see clearly now. Now what do we have? We have a very small trend. A high, a low, higher low, higher high, higher low, failed higher high, okay? Changed character, gave us a new low, retracement gave us a new high, broke structure confirming the new low as your previous, as now your lower lows and your lower highs, giving you a new high and a low, and you can see that is what the market is doing right now. How many people had figured out that is what is happening? Honestly, kama ulikuwa umefigure out, hebu reply hapo useme I had. Because now this is the general analysis, this is the higher time frame view of what you think or what you can see the market is doing. But now the question is, did you really know this is what was happening? Do you really understood that this is what was happening? Watu wangapi walikuwa wanaelewa hivi ndo kunaenda? TikTok guys, if you want to join analysis, link in bio. Just make sure you join our YouTube channel and join the analysis. So okay, so that is the trend we are having. But now the question is, do you really need to know all these things for you to make money? How many people think you need to know all these analysis to make money? If you think you need, can you comment yes on YouTube? If you think you don't, can you say you don't? I'm waiting for your comment. So, as we continue, as you guys comment, what do you think was happening here? Why do you think the market was really challenging us? Because in between giving us a change of character, reversing, there was a lot of liquidity sweeps. If you've been careful, kunakuwa na a lot of liquidity sweeps. A lot. If I start showing you, it has been too much, bro. Too much. What do I mean by too much? Check. At this level, we had a sweep, right? Let me give it dotted to make it sound different. We had a sweep there, right? It works only for swing traders, yeah. It works for swing traders, but for you also, it's also better for you to be able to, anticipate or get to know what the market is doing. We had a sweep here. Now, hizi is a higher time frame. Don't forget, this is a higher time frame. We had a sweep here. We had a sweep here. Okay, can change the. Okay, we had another sweep at this level, right? And we had another sweep at this level here, right? We had another sweep. I don't know where it was, but here we had some sweeps. Here I remember there was a very, very good sweep. Here also we had another sweep. What do you think the market was doing? Imagine all these sweeps. What do you think they are restricting you from? Hizi ni stop loss zinagongwa vibaya sana. Hizi maombi, hizi ni stop loss. They are being triggered. Hapo unagongwa inaenda. Unagongwa inaenda. Unagongwa inaenda. Same thing. Same thing here. Same thing. Huh? Bro, this is manipulation. And it's because if you check carefully, the market was trying to distribute on a higher time frame, but at the same time, the market started ranging inside that higher time frame distribution. These are higher time frame. These are above daily time frame, okay? These are above our higher time frame, okay? These above, it's like daily time frame now, okay? Because you can see it's a change of character, retracement, break of structure, retracement, break of structure. Okay, now that the fact that it's happening on a higher time frame is what it's giving us what? An idea that we really, if you go now, if the higher time frame is trying to do that, now if you go to the lower time frame, you clearly can tell that the market is doing what? All this drama of trying to manipulate and so on. Okay. Now consider to other outside effects like outside factors like sentiments, Trump, whatever they are saying, US, whatever, all algorithms or all these things, but I don't want us to now be afraid that because there is these things that can happen. No, we shouldn't be afraid of those things. We need just to be paying attention and understanding what the market is doing. So basically, now if that is the higher time frame view, we are not going to pay attention to all that drama. I just want us to do an analysis from around this level because it's been a long time, guys, without you. So we can do analysis as coming forward, trying to understand liquidity, trying to understand what the market was doing from this level all the way coming forward, okay? From when we failed to break structure here, all the way coming forward. So you can see this one. Internally, we had a change of character. We mitigated a fair value gap, okay? We mitigated a fair value gap, which pushed us further to break a structure. What caused the retracement? A certain order block at this point here. Remember, this order block is the one that gave our main change of character here, right? So it's just a level of reaction. I don't want really to pay much attention to it. It's just a level of reaction, and it can pay a retracement to the upside. Remember, I'm not here mostly to discuss my trading edge. We are here to do general analysis. We're together. So from that point, you can clearly see that the market again came to this point, mitigated an Asian point of interest here, I remember very well, and the market did a retracement to what? To a decisional point here. Mnakumbuka tukisell hapa, and then after mitigating there, we were able to break structure here because this was our intended low, so meaning this one is no longer important. It was just a retracement point. Notice how I'm deleting them. Then after that, the market broke structure and distributed very, very hard, failing to break the main low, but did a retracement. Gave us a what? What was the purpose of the retracement? Around this level, kuna obvious a reaction point because most people are thinking there's a demand there. So they are trying to buy this point. But retracement ikashindwa kurudi inside our level. But we saw what? We saw the market doing a bit of a retracement, now a break of structure. After the break of structure, we saw a reaction point, which is a demand that was never mitigated here, okay? You can see that demand. What is the purpose of that demand? It was never mitigated before, and you can see it had a break of structure. To me, it's an Asian point of interest, which means I don't trade it as a point of interest, but I do turn it as a key level, okay? I treat it as a key level. Are we together? Anyone here on TikTok who wants to join analysis? You come to and join analysis. Okay, so remember, we have broken structure here, and also we have broken our main higher time frame structure, which is this high, right? Now what's the end of that? To do a retracement, okay? And you can see now the retracement was not only for this lower time frame breakout structure, but also the higher time frame, okay? So it's to do a very, very good retracement. Are we together? So from that point, we can see that the market, remember huku ndani market ikimove hivyo, we are trading. It's not that we are not trading. From here to here you can find that we had more than even 5 setups, because my edge appears very well. We are doing general analysis of how the market has been moving, and then now we can go to liquidity. We'll be watching liquidity and all these things. So from this point tukakuwa na break of structure and a change of character, right? Why is the change of character happening? Anyone who can tell why the change of character happened? Is there anyone who can tell us why the change of character happened on YouTube? Please, let's guys to like YouTube banner. Yeah man, let's like on YouTube and share and try to be active. Let's keep pushing. Anybody who has an idea? Okay. So the reason we had a good change of character is because we had mitigated a strong level, and we had already had our main break of main low being taken out, okay? So after that we can clearly see we had a change of character. Also after that we can clearly see that we had the market retraced all the way to the upside, to the downside, sorry. And you can see that here we are reacting to a fair value gap, and then we do a retracement still inside the level, tukaona a sweep ingine mzuri sana, and that sweep happened, and you can see the market pushed to the upside, and all those things, remember, they are happening on that time frame. Here we had a break of structure na nikawaambia this was a strong level, the same way nimekuwa nikiwaambia hizi vitu, okay? So we saw from this supply level market ikireact here to that decisional point, okay? Kama hapa nakumbuka tulichukua sales vizuri sana after the confirmation, right? After mitigating that particular point tukaona retracement a bit, right? Na pia tulikuwa tunaona continuation or break of structure, right? From here tukakuwa na consolidation ya whole week, okay? But remember, kuna vitu kama liquidity trendline that was here. That was one of the reasons that the market was trying to build liquidity. It was one of the major reasons. I would like to consider it as one of the major reasons. From that point also we had another liquidity from this level here. I'm starting now to introduce liquidities. Here also you can see we had another sweep of liquidity, okay? Because it was not trying to break structure. It was just doing its own business with sweep. Here also we had another sweep. Then this trend line was broken, invalidating each and every point of interest yenye ingekuwa below at this level. And we saw a break that was now, remember, after breaking this low, main low, we were trying to do what? To come and break the new main low. So if you check, tulikuwa tunajaribu kuja ku break this low, and now as we are trying to break, unaona market ilikuwa ina struggle. Tukajaribu tukasweep, tukajaribu kukuwa na change of character, mitigate fair value gap here, kulikuwa na very strong fair value gap. Okay, inside that fair value gap pia kukakuwa na another sweep Unajua sweep hazikuwa zinacheza hii maraundi. Okay, we had another sweep at that level. No, it wasn't a sweep, it was actually the main mitigation ya fair value gap sweeping this high, which is it's also the same thing. And for that point, that being a sweep, also here we saw the market distributing all the way to the downside. Internally, we were able to break what? To break the low, but externally, on the higher time frame, we were never able to break that low. Usijali, this general analysis inakuwa ngumu kidogo. Hizo wiki at least market ilitunyorosha, but at least now we know better. Yeah. The more you stick around for a long time, it's the more you get to understand. Guys on YouTube, please follow, subscribe, share the live, subscribe. Si kufollow ni kusubscribe. Sasa hizi vitu lazima ziingie kwa kichwa pole pole. So like I'm saying is, the more you get exposed to these conditions, the more you understand them. Okay? And the more you live long enough in this trading industry, the more you'll face them next time. For example, maybe next year zitakuja and you'll be now ready. Okay? And then ikiingia, see the moment, the good thing with being focused is that the moment imeingia, unakuwa so much well organized and focused. Hauwezi kupita. So here we had a liquidity drop going up all the way. And we saw the market trying to give us, a small type of drama inside here, but ikatupea a few POIs here and so on, coming for this level here, pushed up, all the way with that liquidity. After that, we had this supply level here that was trying to push market to the downside, right? And it had successfully broken structure to the downside, which now this is our break of structure sasa yenye tulikuwa tuna confirm. Okay, sasa hii ndio the break of structure yenye tulikuwa tuna confirm to ourselves. We were waiting for such a break of structure and it happened. Okay. So from that point, having this valid break of structure yenye ndio hii sasa tulikuwa tunataka i break, sasa ikakuja kubreakia huku. Let me give it color red so that is ipelekane. Okay, having what now, if this is the valid break of structure of this, then this becomes our main major high, not this one. Msikuje kusema hii ndio major high, no. Okay, this is just a decisional point yenye push so hard on the higher time frame ikakuja kubreak this one. Are we together? So from that point, you can see now clearly, after tumekuwa na valid break of structure, I was expecting the point yenye imekuwa mitigated, which is a long time demand. Okay, because unaona hapa market ili break na ikaendelea na shughuli zake. Simona iliendelea na shughuli zake. So I was expecting this to be a decisional yenye discount yenye ita push further. And ndio maana hapa nilikuja TikTok nikawapostia nikawaambia either this extreme or discount will push all the way to break these highs, or okay, not even that highs, but ile uko juu kabisa. Okay, or but even the purpose is not that one, because hii ndio the main trend. Breaking this one will be our first goal. Wacha hata tuseme hii. Okay, or the purpose will be to do what? The market vile ili break structure ama ili change character hapa, ilishindwa ku break yenye hii sasa, but internally ukiangalia ilikuwa inafanya nini? Ilikuwa ina break structure ikishuka, right? Very very good valid break of structure 1, break of structure 2, and break of structure 3. Okay, and that is why I said either this one is gonna win by taking all the way to buys, or the sellers that are trying to create a very good formulated structure will push all the way to the downside. Umeelewa? So up to now, what do we have? We saw that the sellers won and continued pushing to the downside, retracement level being useless, I don't care about it anymore, and maintaining the trend to the downside now, having understanding what the market is doing currently. So this being useless, this being the main breakout structure here, okay, on the higher time frame, deleting these, okay. I'll draw a circle there to maintain and understand that this is where the main breakout structure happened. This being internals, this giving it black, showing it's just an internal structure that was being formed, okay. And finally, you can see that is the higher time frame view of what the market is doing. But now, how can you be able to understand how to come up with your points of interest? Because now we are getting to understand how you can understand market, because you won't be paying attention to these things every time, right? Hutakuwa kila saa unaenda 4 hours daily time frame to try and understand. That was just general analysis. Nimewapea moja ya mwaka yenye hatujakuwa tukionana ama hatujakuwa tukifanya analysis for the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. But if you check carefully now, what do we have? We have this breakout structure, this breakout structure, this breakout structure. So we have 2 trends that are made for us purposely. I will delete everything now and I will draw my main trends, okay? Now from this high that was created to this low, I have a few things that are happening. We have a high, took out our main low, right? Then from there, we were able also to take out our main low. Remember, our breakout structure may happen up. And finally today, Friday, we were able to break this low, right? That is the higher time frame view of what I have. Sidio watu wangu? Hapa hii ni drama. Hii ni drama. Don't fall into this drama here. Okay? So that's what I got. But now, you don't need to focus on all these for you to understand how to trade. Just go into the mid time frame category and trying to understand what is happening. If you come here, you can see we had a change of character, right? After this change of character internally, the market can mitigate whatever point it mitigate. It can sweep liquidity above. Okay? Hapa ilishindwa ku break, but it swept liquidity, right? Which is a danger to us. It's a danger to us. And you can see from that level we had a what? We had a change of character, right? After sweeping these and after breaking these, we know that market will continue to break structure. And when the market continues to break structure, what does it leave us with? It leaves us with something called a discount point. So I knew either my extreme point here, which whatever it's gonna be valid, or my decisional point here, or any other cluster fair value gap, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be my key point. It's not key point. It's gonna be my point of interest for me to push further to the upside. But when the market volume of going up ended, we saw the market changing character internally, doing a retracement, failing to break structure, then breaking that low again. Doing a retracement, failing to break structure, then breaking that low again. Invalidating all the retracement levels, okay? So when I was trading even these, just a moment. When I was trading these points of interest, that's why I couldn't afford to overhold, okay? Muliona for instance nikitrade kwa hii fair value gap, there was a cluster fair value gap at around this point. Should I go to the lower time frame? Yeah. There was a cluster fair value gap around this point. Muliona nikitradia, okay? I always love giving cluster fair value gap red, right? And kuna extreme level here, which I always give it black, meaning it's a point of interest. Okay, fair value gap can be both key level and key level. It can be both key level or a point of interest based on how I'm applying the structure. But a point of interest being meaning black, I just execute trades based on whatever market ikikuja, okay? So from this level, you can clearly see that the market mitigated this point. The market mitigated our fair value gap after giving an internal change of character, then reversed, then gave a retracement, internal break of structure, this one here. Let me draw it very well because it's almost equally the same with the one. Internal break of structure, mitigated fair value gap, pushed all the way. Sasa hii ndio nilikuwa nasema. If I take my buys from this reaction point, my target is 1:3 and I'm done with the trade. Bro, you don't need to know where umeona 4 hours inatoka na huko juu inakuja chini, but for me just this move has given me my money for the day and I'm done. Are we together? So don't try to put your attention entirely into this thing, okay? Whatever it is. So you can see the mitigation to this point, a retracement to the upside, right? Failed to break this high, does a break, then again breaks structure, comes to again to my point of interest. I take some buys, fails to break structure. I have gotten my risk to reward around that point. The market does a retracement, breaks structure again, and I continue. I'm making money. The market is not doing what I want, but I'm making money from the points of interest I have. Are we together? So from this point, you can clearly see that we have what? A reaction point there, a reaction point there, a reaction point there. So on the higher time frame now, where the price is, on the higher time frame, you need to ask yourself very, very major question. Very, very good question. Shit. My laptop is going off. Just a moment, I connect it. Hey, na imekaa tangu jana. Okay, so the main question you need to ask yourself is, the market here will break structure. Now, what is the retracement point? Okay, for instance, vile tuli break structure hapa, retracement point ilikuwa nini? Ilikuwa ni hii decisional demand. Acha niende 3 hours ndo muone vizuri. What was our retracement point from this level? It was this demand here. Kuna hii unmitigated demand yenye ilikuwa hapa. Right? I'll give it a different color isituchanganye. Let me give it like blue, okay? That was our retracement level. Then again, when we had another break of structure here, okay? What was our retracement point? It was a discount level. Why was this the retracement level? Because we had a break of structure here. Na market haikurudi, right? Now, initially, what was the second retracement point? We had a break of structure here, then having an extreme point that was never mitigated at around this level here. So this was our what? Our retracement level. Now here retracement level usicheze nayo. You know that the market coming from here, we are on higher time frame. Market kutoka hapa tu, iende tu hivyo na irudi, unaweza kuwa ume-execute more than 5 trades. You can have been executed more than 5 trades. Ukiinclude kwanza na kukuja kubreak structure pia. Okay? So that's why understanding where the market will react from is very, very important. And initially now, you can see now, these ones zimekuwa invalidated. So we are not caring about them. Okay? They're just useless now, because the main trend is still maintaining its goal. So now what is our main purpose for now is to ask ourselves, yes, we saw a higher time frame break of structure, bro. Habibi, we saw a higher time frame break of structure here. Now retracement point yetu ni gani? Sasa ukikuja na huku nyuma, unapata iko mahali price ilitoka, right? But sasa ilikuwa imemitigate. So to me, I won't lie to you. Unless the price reacts na ianze kuchange direction, that is the only time I can say the market is reacting to this extremist demand. Hii sasa ikiwa yote. Only kama market ita react. Uzuru wa kutreat key level, you can wait until the market reacts to it. Ianze kwenda, ndio utasema nini? The market is reacting to a specific area. Are we together? So, what is happening after the market is reacting there? We can go into the lower time frame. Remember, that is not everything we need. All we need is to understand what the market is doing. So from that level, I always love maintaining 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Kama unakaa kwa 5 minutes, you are in danger. Okay? Try to avoid danger as much as you can. So what is the market doing right now under 15 minutes time frame? Remember, sahi break structure na market iko huku chini. First of all, allow me to put my sessions because I don't want to get confused. Hii ni Asian high, hii ni Asian low. That is the first thing I need to understand. This is my Asian high, right? I have to mark it as liquidity, and I have my Asian low here. I also have my Asian low at this level, which also you must allow me to mark it as liquidity, okay? As liquidity. Okay, we know that there's liquidity above there and below. What happens when I mark that way as liquidity? What happens is I am now able to ignore any point of interest that can appear around this range. Okay, I'm able to ignore it. Okay, so from that point, I can now look for retracement level. Okay, I can see like the market is already trying to do a retracement. What are the early areas that I would be interested in if the market comes back? So if I start from a higher time frame, I go to 3 hours, I go to 2 hours, I go to 1 hour. I think I have a fair value gap at around this point. For the fair value gaps, allow me to give it a red. Okay. Let's go to 4 hour time frame. Daily time frame, we don't have any fair value gap. 4 hour time frame, you can see a fair value gap from there to that point. Okay, so we have a fair value gap kwa 3 hours iko hapa chini, kwa 3 hours iko hapo chini na juu pia, kwa 2 hours iko at the same area, kwa 1 hour iko at this level. I would like to focus on the first one yenye inaapia, and on 30 minutes I think iko pia. At 30 minutes exactly pia iko. I don't like going lower than 30 minutes when I'm dealing with cluster fair value gap. So around there, I have one of my key levels, okay? This is not a point of interest. This is a key level, okay? If I see a retracement there and I see a reaction, maybe the point comes, tumekuwa tumesweep liquidity, I see a good change of character, and I see the market, and I see liquidity, I'm going to be willing to short the market, habibi. Sidio? Na ukiona YouTube inakaa sana, unaweza refresh, eh? You can refresh with your Wi-Fi. If you refresh, you'll be a bit sooner. Okay? So what happens after that? That is a cluster fair value gap. But now, do I have a point of interest? Yes, I have a point of interest with a double break of structure. Which one? We saw this higher time frame break of structure, giving me this extreme, okay? Giving me this extreme point here, which is, important. But before tufike huko kwa extreme iko mbali, si tushughulike kwanza na yenye iko karibu. We have a decisional level. Which is the decisional level? The one that gave me a double break of structure. So you have this low that was broken. Eish, ni mimi naongea haraka ama kunaendaje? Okay, we have a double break of structure here. And now we broke the main low with one big move, okay? What is the highest point created? Hapa ndipo niliwaambia the highest point created is London. So it's valid, eh? Sikuja kusema ati hii ni Asia. No. It's London, so to me it's valid. So I'll come up with a point of interest here. Remember, you don't just draw randomly. Eh? There's a process to drawing points of interest. And that is a supply level. And I have those two reaction points. So if the price comes here, I'm going to be observing. But at the same time, I'm still observing what the price is going to be doing internally here, maybe before breaking. But already those are the levels that I'm paying attention at, because this Asian high, this Asian low. So I'm not expecting much inside this range, okay? I don't want to be Asian liquidity. Hey, mbona TikTok imekuwa nyuma hivi? Oh, I'm the one who did. Okay, I understand now. Okay? So I don't want to be anyone's liquidity. So from that level, if the price comes here, it's the first level I'm going to be watching, because itakuwa imetake out Asian liquidity, and I'm going to see how I'm going to be trading it. At the same time, it's going to be breaking despite taking out liquidity, it's still gonna be breaking a created high. Okay, this created high is after doing what? After mitigating a point yenye tumeona. Kama nitarudi nyuma, allow me to do that. It's after mitigating a point yenye tumeona at this level here. Okay, that is the point. So after mitigating it, if you go back to the lower time frame, we have created a high and a low, and we have, first of all, we already have a break here. So if we could have a retracement, okay, that could go mitigate our fair value gap or give us a double break of structure. What do I mean? I'm not anticipating what could happen, but I'm just showing you. Tukaona a retracement and a double break of structure, then we can have a decisional yenye ni clean. Usijali, mkianza kutrade mtakuwa na this type of analysis, you know. Tunaweza kuwa na double break of structure na London itakuwa ni low ya London and we can value it. But in the meantime, remember, the daily bias for the day, as per me, not as per you guys, is my liquidity, okay? So for me, as long as I see a point of interest which is valid, I'm good to go. So I think for now, nimechoka sana. We can go back on YouTube, TikTok, we discuss a bit, and then we see still, I'm not switching off the YouTube, but we see whether we can really do something, okay? We see whether we can really do something about the analysis we have. Put it together. Kama hujani follow, please follow. Kama huja subscribe, please subscribe right now. TikTok, how are you guys? So that is a quick analysis. Now every day from tomorrow today, these hours, morning hours, from around 11 to around 3, we are gonna be doing this analysis every single day. Okay? I don't know how you guys are gonna take it, but I don't know whether you guys will be joining. Please, if you're on YouTube, can you please leave a comment so that I can get to evaluate something? Just any comment. You can touch 100%. As we go back to YouTube. Oh, man. Sorry, as we go back to TikTok. Nice work. Thanks, man. Awesome analysis, very informative and empowering. Thanks you, boss. Thank you, boss. Unafaa soda wewe. M-Pesa ni ile ile, sijabadilisha bado baba. Nice one. Thank you so much. Thank you, boss. Very clear, yes. So we are gonna be doing it every day, guys. We are gonna be doing it every single day. Because trust me, you to leave that 9 to 5 job, you to stop even seeking for jobs, it doesn't take much. It just needs dedication, okay? Great insights there. Keep it up, bro. Thanks. Vile inafaa. You don't need a lot, bro. You don't need a lot. For you to fix your life, to get money from trading, you don't need a life. You don't need a lot. Uhitaji vitu mingi, trust me. You don't need a lot. So let's go back on TikTok and we do our analysis. We do a bit of psychology. Tukijiuliza maswali, pia tuelewe what is the problem, what is the issue, how can we become better. As we wait, okay? Remember on Telegram, join my Telegram. If you want any mentorship, tell me. And also for my students, everything will be updated in the community. Any of the reaction, any of these analysis. Remember, it's patience, waiting. Bro, waiting is everything. Waiting is key. Until your structure appears. And once your structure comes, do not hesitate. Do not ask yourself any question. You just take the structure. So guys, enjoy. From there, I think we can end the streaming. and we can continue from, you'll not be able to